Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So, today is the third day of the meeting with President Xi in Russia, meeting with Putin. Now, this is not just President Xi himself that has traveled to Russia. This is an entire Chinese delegation, which is, very large. They are making trade agreements and so forth. And a very large part that people are focusing on, which is only a part of this, is, boy, I look short, don't I? Let's try that. Okay. And now I look crooked. Try that. Okay. China has announced their 12-point peace plan. And, by the way, pardon my wet hair. I've got to hit the road in just a few minutes. So, President Putin has stated that there is a lot of merit to this 12-point peace plan. But he states that the West is not ready to negotiate. And there is absolute truth to this. President Zelensky has stated that he will not negotiate with President Putin. And meanwhile, John Kirby, what the heck, whose official title is Coordinator for Strategic Communications at the National Security Council in the White House. So say that 3 times fast. But John Kirby has stated that a ceasefire agreement, which is in the 12-point peace plan, is unacceptable. Now that alone tells you who is making the decisions for Ukraine. Now, President Zelensky is taking a much more measured tone with President Xi than he has with other Western leaders, mostly because he wants to establish trade with China, considering the Belt and Road Initiative. I'm not sure that's going to happen there, but he wanted President Xi to meet with him right after meeting with President Putin. And President Xi said, basically, maybe I'll give you a call. He's planning on giving Zelensky a call at some point, but that has not even been scheduled. As far as the Belt and Road Initiative is concerned, let me go to a map of this. Just a moment. I had to look up what John Kirby's title actually is. So here's a map of the Belt and Road Initiative. Now, it doesn't show the names of countries, only major cities where this is going. So let me flip back and forth here. All right, so to give you an idea of this, all right, so here is Istanbul. So that's Turkey. You can see this string of the Belt and Road Initiative. There are multiple routes heading west toward Europe. So Istanbul is one of those. So right here, if you can see just above Istanbul is the Black Sea, and then that lighter green, that is Ukraine. You can see the Belt and Road Initiative bypasses Ukraine. It goes up here through Russia and through Belarus, Poland, and both of these strings heading west go completely around Ukraine. So it doesn't look like the Belt and Road Initiative is planned to go through Ukraine at all. So basically, Zelensky wants to beg to be part of this. But is that going to happen? Probably not. Ukraine has a long history of being highly corrupt. And this goes back for 20 years. It is well known to be the most corrupt country in Europe and one of the most corrupt in the world. So I think the plans for the Belt and Road Initiative bypassing Ukraine were established before February of last year. Now, no matter how you feel about China, one thing is absolutely true, that if a country does not have trade with China today, then they're pretty much sunk. And let me go back. The Belt and Road Initiative is the largest trade, plan, that has ever been attempted in history. They call it the New Silk Road, but it goes way beyond the route of the original Silk Road. But again, I know I went through those maps pretty quickly. Let me show you the different. See, right here is Istanbul, and the red right here, Piraeus is Greece. So that light green is Ukraine. You can see that labeled on the map. Here's Istanbul down here. Okay, and there's Ukraine. The Belt and Road goes up here through Belarus. See where it's going through. Okay, the light green is Kazakhstan. The dark green is Russia. So going up here from Kazakhstan into Russia, and then the light green is up here is Belarus. So the Belt and Road Initiative bypasses Ukraine entirely. Now, they keep on saying that China is supporting Russia, but, China has actually said they do not approve of the military actions in Ukraine, and the 12-point peace plan, a major part of it, is a bilateral ceasefire, which is completely reasonable. If you read through that 12-point peace plan, every part of it is reasonable. It is based on diplomacy, on peaceful negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. And President Xi has offered to moderate any peace talks. But there were peace talks in March of last year, in 2022, that were hosted by Turkey. And then Ukraine made agreements and then dumped that agreement. They tore it up. And, we have to always remember that Ukraine had agreed to the Minsk Accords from 2014-2015 and never honored that agreement. This is an absolute fact. It's been documented in Western media. It was documented from 2015 until late 2021. It was documented in Western media that Ukraine never honored the Minsk agreement. They kept any articles you find on it will say, yeah, you talk about Russian separatists, Russian-backed separatists in Donbass. But then if you look at a map, look up a map, which I've shown on this channel before, of Donbass from 2014, and then look at it at 2021, and how much of the Donbass Ukraine had taken over and occupied, militarily occupied, over that period of time, and they took over more than half of the Donbass region. And they built fortifications, which is why Russia has been going so. Part of why Russia has been going so slow in this special military operation, because they had to defeat all of these fortifications, which are now pretty much all gone. People that say that Ukraine is winning, that's absolutely false. It's not just Bakhmut that is falling. There are multiple, Crimea is pretty much encircled. Let me go to a different map here. So this is the live UA map, which is a Ukraine-friendly map. It's not just Bakhmut. Here's Bakhmut, and you can see just how much it is encircled by Russia, mostly the Wagner forces. Then you come down here. I think I skipped one. Seversk also is almost completely encircled. Where is that? Oh, there. Here's Seversk. There is a cauldron, a large cauldron forming around Seversk. There's a smaller sub-cauldron forming around this town here. You keep on going down. There are multiple cauldrons forming. You can see this one. There's Bakhmut. Then you come down here. You got a major cauldron that is also forming down here around Avdiivka. So Avdiivka is almost completely encircled, and then you just keep on going down through this map. Let me zoom out a little bit. And Vuhledar, that is very close to falling. They keep that's a different matter. That is a different thing to discuss. But so peace talks, a ceasefire would be completely reasonable, and that's what should be happening. But it's not. The West, Ukraine, NATO, the West, the United States says a ceasefire is unacceptable. And, Zelensky saying that he will not negotiate with Putin. Well, there's nobody else to negotiate with. He's the president of Ukraine. The only way you're going to reach a peace agreement is going to be with the president of the country that you're in conflict with. So, no, Ukraine is not winning. They don't have any hopes of winning. As far as Avdiivka and Bakhmut are concerned, according to the Military Summary Channel, Ukraine only has like 1,200 reservists that they can send to help in Bakhmut and Avdiivka. You can do one or the other, but the same 1,200 can't go to both places. 600 would not be enough to do anything. So, as far as trade between Russia and China, China is Russia's largest trade partner. Russia is now the leading provider of oil and gas to Russia. So, if Ukraine wants to be part of the Belt and Road Initiative, then they're going to have to, at some point, come to an agreement, that a peaceful agreement, before any trade can be established between Ukraine and China. And China has been watching and listening to how Ukraine has been treating other countries, other world leaders. If they don't get what they want, it's always just they're childish. It's not just Zelensky, but the entire administration throwing insults and all this kind of thing. You didn't give me what I want, so I'm going to throw a tantrum. So if they want to be part of the Belt and Road Initiative, they are going to have to come to a peaceful agreement. You know, Russia and China Putin and Xi have expressed friendship and close ties. And they're both under sanctions and, threat from the West. No, they're not. Xi is not going to make a trade agreement with Ukraine as long as this is continuing. You've got to show some form of honor. And, you've got to address all of your corruption. China's not going to run a rail line through a country that is known for corruption. So, anyway, going to wait and see what the end result is of the 3-day meeting between Putin and Xi and their delegations. And let's just wait and see how that turns out, and if Xi actually does give Zelensky a call. All right, share this video, talk about these subjects. I've got to hit the road. If you can afford it, please donate whatever you can to help expand this channel and my presidential campaign, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day.